Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And this is our review of Portals.
Portals is an abstract puzzle game, plays between 1 and 4 players, around 40 to 80 minutes, depends how good you are and how good your opponent is. And it's been designed by Maxim Istomin and is published by Crowd Games or Crowd D Games. You guys, you let us know which one is the actual pronunciation.
Please do let us know. And before we dive into the review, remember what you have to do. Matt, tell the people.
Well, you need to like our videos, if you like it, of course. And most of all, you need to subscribe.
Bam!
Hit that subscribe button because that helps us a lot and help us create more content for you guys. So, and if you are a new subscriber, well, welcome to the Board Stupid family.
Absolutely, and drop us a comment below. So let's dive in to the review. In Portals, on your turn, you're going to be doing 2 things. You're going to be drafting a card from this central area here and putting it into your play area, like this one for example. Once it's there, I'm going to be taking a stone from one of the available piles to my left or to my right, putting one of my player tokens there to remind me. This orange one for example. On a future turn, I could take a stone from this pile if I wanted to. Again, I'm going to take this orange one and place it on this card. Notice that I've now covered the 2 symbols on this card, means that this card is activated and available to be scored when we get to the scoring phase. Again, we'll go around until we've picked all of the stones that we want from the various piles and we run out of tokens, and then we move on to the scoring phase. Notice I've activated both of these cards and they're both available for scoring. In this instance, I could put my 2 orange stones in the same sort of orientation and space and distance apart on this scoring board, and I'll get some points for that. I can put this one, as this is activated, over on this scoring board, again because it's to my right, again in the same orientation. Notice how some of these stones don't match, but that's okay, because some of these stones both do match and have now adjacency to stones next to them, so they'll score in both ways on this board. This game does some very unusual things, and what I like quite a lot about it, Matt, is the fact that you don't really have anything that's yours in front of you, like a traditional board or a central board. It's all of these sort of floating components that are between the players, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's what I really liked of the game, is the interactivity between players.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you think something like Azul, now just because some of the components are very similar.
Yeah.
On that game, the only things that you actually interact with the other players is picking up a tile rather than the other.
Yeah, through denial, right?
While on this one is that plus is whatever you're trying to achieve on the board, checking what the other players' little cards are looking like, so you can start looking at it, and you just don't do it with one of the players. You're doing it with the one sitting at your right and the one sitting at your left.
Yeah, absolutely. And also you've got interactivity through the drafting of these cards here, because they go up in ascending order, right? So, and if you've got a lower number card, you're going to score it first. And if you score that before someone else in a place to where they wanted to score, they can't place the tiles.
Exactly. So it's highly interactive on that way. We played as well with the first of the module, that is the spell module. This one will also introduce these mechanics of doing spells that will let you pick up tiles from certain boards, or removing tiles, or getting one specific tiles and using it for your benefit. And that, I think, adds a lot to the game.
I agree.
Playing without, we did the first couple of rounds without, limits a little bit the game. So if you just try the base and you were like, not sure, definitely add the first modules. That adds a lot of that interactivity, a lot of more things that you can do. For example, one of the things you can do is you can score immediately one of your mini boards rather than waiting for the end of the turn. That means that, okay, I got it, it's loaded,
I'm going to score it.
And I'm going to score it, no one
else.
else can score it. So definitely play with that as well.
Yeah, and we like interactivity in our games anyway.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be like a Euro game or an abstract puzzly game, we like that high level of interactivity. It can, I guess, be a little bit mean. You can certainly play this with a mean hat on and be like, okay, I know what you want, and I know what you want. I'm going to draft this, and I'm going to do this before you. But I think that's part of the appeal. And
yes, it is.
Be prepared for it, because we quite like that. Not for everybody, but we quite like that. And we certainly like games with that level of interactivity. Other interesting things about the gameplay, as well as the sort of this sort of drafting system, which is pretty cool. This is very similar to something like Azul, where you're going to be placing out 6 stones from the bag into these central sort of discs.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you immediately think Azul, right?
Yeah, you do. It's that part of that specific mechanics that is one of the main mechanic of Azul. It's very much the same thing. Yeah. So at the start of the round, you pick 6 from the bag and put it in the center, and that is going to be divided between you and the player to your right or the one to your left. But it's very similar mechanics. Again, this game it's got that similar, but then adds a lot of more things to it.
It's certainly more. Yeah, we'll talk about complexity a little bit later for sure. I also quite like about this game, Matt, that there is a tension between the 2 different scoring profiles, because you're either going to be scoring based on trying to match the colours, based on what you've got here, or by scoring for adjacency.
Yes.
And that tension's interesting, because you're like, well, how do I get the best out of my cards based on what's just happened?
It kind of gives dynamic to the game, where at the start of the game you probably want to go matching the colours on the boards, while up on toward the 3rd or the 4th turn, you want to actually start looking, all right, there are a lot of blue in there, so if I can put some blues next to it, it will definitely give me more points.
Yeah, get some big adjacency bonuses.
That makes the games less the same every turn.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives it a little bit more dynamism. And because these cards are sort of laid out very differently, like the lighter ones over here, these orangey ones, will have less stones on them. Yeah, so they're sort of an ideal. They're an ideal candidate to start doing adjacency. You can like sneak a couple in there and maybe get some big points, because normally you wouldn't score very much, but if you can get adjacency bonuses with these, you'll get a ton, which is really exciting. We've got these purple ones over here, which have like way more on, like 4 or sometimes even more than that. And they're really, really good, and they'll score you a ton of points if you can match the colours and score it in time. Yeah, it's just a really, really smart design, mate. I think it's fantastic.
Production-wise, is really, really good. I was very surprised about how good these tiles are. It's they're all plastic colored tiles that makes that tactile experience really
fun
good.
Experience. Digging into a bag's always fun. Right?
It's always fun. Very nice and colourful cards, and everything is done really well. It's a high production level. Again, the elements are simple in terms of, like, you got your cards, you got your cardboards, and you got your tiles. So it's those 3 things, but everything is done very well. Yeah. And for the price point you're paying this game, that, if I remember right, is around the £35 in or whatever, US dollar, Canadian, Australian,
whatever your local equivalent.
It's very well done. There is very well done components, so I'm pretty happy with this.
This isn't going to be one of those games which is going to you're going to blow someone away with lots of miniatures, but it's not meant to be that. It's limited components, done in a decent way. Nothing super outstanding that's going to blow your mind, but absolutely nothing that's going to be a problem either. Yeah, it does the best with what it's got, I think.
Absolutely. All right, Wayne. So what do you think this game is for?
I think this game is for lovers of abstract strategy games. It seems an obvious thing to say because it is, but if you liked Azul, I think you probably would like this. This seems pretty fun.
It's a much higher complexity level.
I would definitely say that.
And I think it takes a little bit to actually understand all the mechanics of the games. It's not, you read the rule book. Don't do like us that we read it but not.
The first time, wait, there's that a rule? It's certainly more complex. So if you liked it but you want something a level above, then this will certainly possibly push your buttons.
Yeah.
Would you put this into something like our intermediate category, Matt, or would this go in the advanced category?
I will probably say that it's the fine line between the two.
It's an upper intermediate.
Yes, it's upper intermediate. It's still not advanced because at the end of the day, once you understand the mechanics, those are the mechanics. It's not like reinventing the wheels. But the strategy in this game, it can go really deep.
It can go very deep, yeah. And I would say, I don't think this is a game for you if you have friends or yourself even that has a lot of analysis paralysis. And what I mean by that is where if you want to try and sit and puzzle out what the best move is, because of the dynamism of the game and that you've got the floating boards and the floating drafts that you can do, you could sit there for a long ass time and think about
that probably not for you. If you like to calculate every single outcome of a move you're gonna make, because at the same time, think about it, you're working on 2 different boards at the same time.
And 2 drafting boards.
With the drafting boards in front of you, that could be like up to 4 tiles, with a lot of different tile colors, with the fact that you can do spells.
And 2 different types of scoring.
It might be a little bit too slow if you want to do like Doctor Strange when he sees all the possible
all the possible futures of the universe.
So that's but for the rest, it's challenging. It's fun to play with other people. I'm really happy that I actually pick up this game.
Yeah, I think at 3 players it's probably a sweet spot. 4 players might be a bit long on the downtime if you have someone that's prone to thinking hard.
Yeah, otherwise it could be really fun.
It could be really fun and very interactive. But I think it's for quite a broad stroke of people. It's an interesting, sort of very light brush theme, because this isn't a theme that's going to be like woven into the mechanisms. It's an abstract game, so the theme is whatever. But it is very pretty and done in a nice way. So Matt, let's talk about your final thoughts for Portals and give us your final score.
Straight on, I really enjoyed the game. I think it's a really good game. I don't think it's a game for everybody. I think, as we said, if you're someone that likes to overthink things, probably this is not for you, and you can make the game feel too slow for other people as well on the table. However, if you're not an overthinker and you just want to play something that is Azul more complicated or Azul more with more mechanics,
a wider version of Azul.
This is definitely for you. Azul is one of my favorite games. That means that bring this one to a 4.5 for me.
That's a very high score.
Yes.
Very nice. That's very good. I think this is a really tremendous game, and I'm not sure if it got a huge amount of hype, but it's much better than I thought it would be. So it definitely surprised me with its mechanisms. It's very clever. As we were playing it, I was thinking, oh, this is really good, isn't it? Like, this is actually really fun. Like, this is really clever how it's doing the things that it's doing. And I think for me, it probably sits at a 4 out of 5. So because I think if you look at our ratings below, I would be happy to play this pretty much any time. It's for me slightly more than a solid game. Let's call this between a 3 and a 4. Maybe drop it down a little bit. Maybe 3.5 for me, I think. But it's an excellent game, and I think they've done a really good job of it. And it has, like I say, surprised me with it. But what do you think? Have you managed to pick up a copy of Portals? It was released very recently as of the date of this video, or did you pick up a copy at Spiel? What do you think of the floating boards and how they're between the players? Are you analysis paralysis prone? Have you managed to break that? Would this still appeal to you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, Matt, tell the people.
Well, keep putting that like to the video. Check out all the rest of the stuff. There is plenty of other board games content.
Plenty.
So check out channel, and most of all, please subscribe.
Bang that button.
Subscribe button. Again, it helps us growing, help us reaching you with more and more content. And please subscribe.
Please do that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.
Ciao.